been thinking of doing a column that would sort of say, you're all you're so mobilized against this. Let me try to think through, what is the disaster that you're preventing? Okay, what is the disaster? Because like if we actually took climate change seriously, and it turned out you were right, there was no climate change. What is the disaster you would be preventing? Well, let's see, well, if we took it seriously, what we'd actually do in America is we'd get rid of both income taxes and corporate taxes and replace them with a carbon tax. In other words, we'd get people to actually use their finances to stop something we don't want and to incentivize something we do want, which is investment and employment. That's the first disaster that we would cause. The second disaster is we would actually borrow billions of dollars today at almost zero interest in order to invest in infrastructure at a time when we have a $2 trillion infrastructure deficit to improve our ports, airports, roads, harbors, and seaports to make our country more resilient and, as a byproduct, more productive and create jobs. That's disaster number two, that these guys are throwing their bodies in the way of preventing. Third disaster is we would direct much more money to ARPA-E and all the government investments in research and innovation and clean tech to ensure that in a world that is getting hot, flat, and crowded, that is, we're going from 7 billion to 9 billion, and now the UN has just told us 9.6 billion people between now and 2050. In a world that is flat, where they can see how everyone is living, aspire to how they live, in American-sized homes, driving American-sized cars on American-sized roads, eating American-sized Big Macs. When flat meets crowded, you don't need to have any climate debate, okay? We're going to burn up, choke up, heat up, and smoke up this planet faster than anyone can possibly imagine. So that says one thing that is indisputable. The next great global industry is going to be clean power, clean water, clean tech, okay? The only question is, are we going to participate in it or not? So the fact that we might actually invest more in the research that would ensure that our companies play a leading role in the next great global industry, that is the third disaster that they are preventing. The fourth disaster they're preventing is that we might actually, as a byproduct of all that, weaken petro-dictators who use oil revenue in order to keep their people down and take bites out of neighboring countries. So I'm so grateful for these guys who don't want us to exaggerate, because we might actually do those four disastrous things and be like someone who prepared for the Olympic triathlon and didn't make the Olympics, but ended up healthier and more fit and more able to thrive in today's world. So thank those guys. I'm so grateful for what they're preventing.